unwarranted issues. When I say unwarranted issues, I mean trying to reap from where you did not sow, trying to destabilize an ongoing process. So I think the conference is made to address those threats against the incoming administration of President Bola. And I think for the incoming government, I think they have their, I'm not going to speak on behalf of the government, they have their, first of all, as well you had this campaign program, which I very much know is going to definitely bring to bed. And I think I would also say, though as in as much as I'm not speaking for the incoming government, but I'm quite sure and optimistic that the best is expected. Press statement by the Oodua People's Corps, the frontlines, OPF, on the recent threat to the north by the OPC. Our attention has been called to an unfortunate piece of news about the Oodua People's Congress issuing threats to the north for contesting the National Assembly leadership sharing formula announced by the National Working Committee of the All Progressive Congress. We feel obligated to react to the action of the OPC for various reasons in order to first of all clear the Yoruba nation for whom OPC claims to speak for. This threat by the OPC, we dare say, is in no way representative of the views of the decent Yoruba nation and should not be seen as so. If anything, the threat, through empty and unsolicited, are embarrassing, shameful, and only to expose the inconsistency of the OPC and other groups, like the Afenifere, that pose as representative of the entire Yoruba nation, by making it look like they are protecting their son, the president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The OPC has ended up exposing him, in particular, and the Southwest, several political vulnerabilities in the future. Whether OPC, Afenifere, or any other group from any region wants to believe it or not, available facts and figures prove that the North is majority responsible for the emergence of the Asiwaju as APC flag bearer and to his eventual victory at the polls. We cannot forget so quickly that 11 APC governors of northern Nigeria state stood firmly against all odds and ensured that power moved to the south and to the southwest in particular, which paved way for Tinubu's emergence. And there's no disputing the fact that Tinubu's final victory at the polls were secured by the northern votes, which made up 60% of the total vote he got. Far and above what he got in the southwest. And facts of history have shown how the North had been consistently with its support, with its support for the Yoruba presidency, even at the expense of candidates from the North. During the 1992 elections, Bashorun Abiola contested under the platform of Social Democratic Party, partly due to the influence of a northern force presented by the late General Shehu Yaradua. And at the polls, the northern votes comprehensively went to Abiola to ensure his success over their own son, Alhaji Bashir Tofa, a prominent, respected personality. Record shows that of all the 6.6 million votes that have been announced before the annulment, Tofa had received 2.3 million and Abiola 4.3 million, of which more than half came from the North. Abiola won all the states of the Southwest, 3 of the 7 states in the Southeast, 5 of the 9 northern states, including Kano, Tofa's state, and 4 out of the 7 states in the central middle belt. This gesture was replicated when Olusegun Odewale was released from prison by the Northern establishment, made a candidate for the People's Democratic Party by the Northern elite, and voted the presidency by the Northern voters in 1999. On all these three occasions, such self-professed Yoruba protection group as the Afenifere and OPC was nowhere visible. In fact, they only surfaced after the June 12 annulment to bask in the glory of what they did participated. Also in 1999, Afenifere and the OPC led the Yoruba nation to favor Olufalaye, why did not work for Obasanjo's victory against their son. And this time around, Afenifere openly declared opposition to Tinubu. OPC was missing the field, why did not did all the work. It is therefore the peak of insanity, shamelessness, and ingratitude for the OPC or any Southwest group to reward you not with threats in false pretense of defending their son, whom they rejected earlier. By this, we wish to emphatically dissociate the decent Yoruba nation from this threat to the North in particular and to any other section of the country. We condemn with all our might the uncivilized action of OPC that threatened the long-standing political friendship that exists between the North and what is today the Southwest. We call on the President-elect not to fall for the dirty game of the OPC and Afenifere, which only aims to pit him against his own most reliable traditional political allies. The Asuwaju should as much as possible distance himself from agents of destabilization operating in various guises and instead concentrate on governance and the task of nation building with justice, inequity to all. God bless you. I remain Comrade Moses Olusegun Odewale. Thank you very much. In every organization we have dissidents. When I say dissident, I mean those who want to go their way when it comes to real issues. Those who cannot face reality. Those who choose to be shadow marking. So if you're talking about OPC and OPF, I think the name quite tells you the different purpose of its organization and foundation. So Oodua People's Front is different from OPC. So I think definitely the OPF modus operandi will definitely be different. Because when you see what is right, I think we should say what is right. You have Sudan. You have Northern Sudan, you have Southern Sudan. They were both Sudan. But issues like this, politically, economically, and otherwise, bring about everybody going separately. I'm not saying OPF was part of OPC, but I might say OPC is part of OPF. Well, I know they are both different entities based on ideas and ideas. The Oodua People's Frontiers were very active in terms of mobilization, information gathering, intelligence gathering, in outright mobilizing people to come up and vote, which is the essence of politics. So, while some other people, I don't call them, were busy doing some other thing, inimical to what the election of Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is all about. So, what we're saying here, I don't want to speak for OPC. They have their facts and their reason. But here, we are saying the OPF have done a good job, and it's time for them to actually come out to say, enough is enough. The elections are over. We have a winner and a victor, so I think we should consider it.